start.
All right. Oh, if anyone asks.
Let's go ahead and screenshot that.
Yeah, I might actually, maybe I'll take a screenshot of that.
Yeah, and just
And
put that
put it as
what's the thumbnail?
As the thumbnail.
Yeah, that would be appropriate.
All right, cheers.
Cheers.
We definitely need more beer.
Yeah.
Yep,
It was required.
How does it?
So, start with cigars. I don't know if you got it. Maybe. We'll see if that's good enough.
Yeah. I think I too much actually.
Oh yeah, mine's way too much, but that's okay.
Oh Jesus. Oh yeah. So notice a gas leak on the bike today.
Oh yes,
We'll keep the torch away from it.
maybe that's smart.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
So number, who knows?
21.
Oh, you know, to
Yeah.
a T.
Yeah.
Good.
Welcome to the garage.
Welcome.
I'm just gonna,
Jump at it.
yeah, kind of. So we were talking in the apartment, and
Mhm.
kind of where that conversation was going. I'm just gonna like hop to the next level, continue that conversation.
Run it.
It's amazing how obviously you're not going to do everything right. Obviously you're going to make mistakes. Obviously you're a flawed human being, and if anyone had any sense, they'd put you to death immediately. But it is amazing if you try to do right and you try to operate in down a lane that you know is like what you want, what's good for you.
Mm-hmm.
How something that you have that you think is really good and what you want, if that perishes and something new presents itself, how as long as you have been doing things right and you handled that other thing,
Yep. How it ended.
the expiration of that one,
Mm-hmm.
you're not still stuck there, and you're able to be like, you know, when you look back at it, there's not something pulling you there. You're like, no, I handled it the way I should have. And then the beautiful thing is, so that's beautiful in itself, but
Yep.
but then you're able to enter the new thing, the new opportunity, the new phase, if you will, the new stage,
Yes.
healthy. You know?
Dude, and I think the word you used is perfect there. It is beautiful. It's beauty that we live out, right? It's, so I don't have any tangible examples, but we'll run with the theoretical here. You have something in your life that is either not going well, you're screwing it up, or it's some combination of the both, right? There's something not good in your life and you're interacting with it. Yet you're perpetuating it for some reason. And whatever reasons those are, they may be valid, but for some reason, and we do this often as human beings, all of us, we have something in our life that we know is not good for us, but we keep doing it anyways. But on the flip side, and the beautiful version of that is when you finally let go of that, when you finally step away, make a healthy choice, do the thing that you should do, it's wonderful to do that, but what we were talking about is how actually beautiful is it when you do that, and then the opposite is what fruits itself right in front of you. So, horrible negative thing, something you don't want to deal with, you're still perpetuating it. You're like, fine, I'm stepping away from this now. And that's good in and of itself, and that happens all the time. But then to be presented this wonderful gift right afterwards,
Yep.
in the exact opposite direction.
Yeah, it's yeah, the weird thing is like this has like never happened to me in the sense that something was ending and then in the exact same genre of life,
Right.
because something new presented itself, something that I knew I wanted, or at least as soon as it presented itself, there was no second guessing. It was like, yes, I want that.
Mm-hmm.
But this is like the first time I'm ever experiencing it, and it's so obviously there's a lot to learn, and I know as time goes on, like, you know, there'll be new lessons to learn, new
Mhm.
waters to navigate.
100%.
But it is because so many times in life, like things end and it's just, something that we had a strong attachment to or something we either wanted or thought we wanted.
Yes.
Or at least we wanted it for some reason.
Yes, we wouldn't be doing it if we didn't want it.
Correct. So for some reason we wanted it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a pull, there's a dragging down, there's a healing process, and it's negative. It's viewed as a negative. It is negative within you. But this is like the first time in my life that, and I've been able to, like, things have ended that I really wanted, that I've been able to get, that I wasn't bogged down with them, if you will.
Yeah.
Wasn't still attached in some way.
Yes, they weren't consuming your being anymore.
Yeah. Still chained up with. But this is the first time that something has happened so quickly, and I'm able to see that
the total opposite.
Yeah, just that contrast. I am not still stuck here, and I'm able to actually, like, I was saddened, and I'm like, I didn't want it to end, and it was like, kind of had to, but then what am I trying to say? God, I'm so bad with words.
No.
It's just nice it's just a good lesson to learn that, like, hey, just do everything right, and do your best. And it's just nice to see that opportunity presenting itself so quickly after one opportunity had ended. And it's just like, wow. It's like you said it the other day.
Yeah.
It's something that, like, you learn those lessons and you would move forward. And even if this new opportunity doesn't
pan
out the way you would hope, just being able to see the contrast of something that you thought you wanted so much, and then being presented with something that
so much better.
Yeah, at least in a lot of ways, like, so rapidly you're seeing, like, wow, these are so many, like, if you think you're losing a job, and then, maybe got 2 months left on your job, or you just lost your job, and then out of nowhere someone offers you a job, and it's like right away it's like, wow, pays better, schedule's better, the work's less physical, and it's like there's going to be some things, there's a million variables in everything, so it's like there'll be one or two things that I might have not been prepared for, or might not even be as good as the previous job.
Right.
But the big things where it's like, wow, okay, these are like my 5 most important things. And just by looking at the brochure of the company or having the conversation with my buddy who works there, who's trying to get me in, 4 of those 5 things we're able to cover in that conversation. And it's like, wow, 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 and wow. And it's just, and like you were saying, it's just so awesome to see that, because regardless of what happens with it, you realize, like, okay, even if this doesn't work out, like we were saying last night, I can never go back to that, because I can see that there's something better for me out there.
Exactly. It's non-wavering once you've seen the good.
Yeah. It's like a red pill.
Yeah. Yeah, and as you were talking about, I was thinking it's like the scenario could be completely understandable if you step away from what is not good for you. Then you continue on life and you learn and grow and whatever. And that's the norm, right? We live, we grow, we make bad decisions, we learn from those bad decisions, and we move on. But it's very rare and it's not often that we get what I would chalk up as an actual gift in life. So as you're stating, it may not be that this gift is the end-all be-all.
The gift you really wanted to
Yes. Yeah. And I find often that God does not hand us gifts that we want exactly as we want them. He goes, no, you need this. And that inherently, that gift, I would chalk it up to God's grace in general, because grace is an unearned forgiveness. And then mercy and grace get screwed up. Both of them are unearned and undeserved, but it is an unearned, undeserved goodness that you receive.
Okay.
So it's essentially just this wonderful piece of a beautiful gift, a sense of grace for what you have done, and a total opposite to that. So again, that gift is not the end-all be-all all the time. In fact, no, there is no end-all be-all gift that you get. There is nothing that you will receive that is like absolutely perfect and it'll change your entire life. But when you receive it, when you actually receive it, not just like, oh yeah, that's cool, all right, we'll use that, or oh, that's shiny and new and fun and whatever. It's like, no, I can value this for the value that it actually has, both now and the potential for the future. So yes, it's beautiful right now.
Yep.
It's wonderful, it's great, but also it has a potential to grow. It has the potential to be more than just, here's this beautiful thing.
It's almost like an opportunity, but
Yes.
you have to, someone offers you to play on their semi-pro team, and this could make a name for yourself in the big leagues.
Mhm.
It's like, cool, that's thank you, beautiful, wow, I'm fucking amazing.
Yep.
Yes, thank you, God, thank you, whatever's
Yeah,
out there,
yeah,
like
yeah.
whatever you believe in, thank you.
Yeah.
But you have to show up to practice every day.
Mm-hmm.
You have to, you have to make the you can't eat everything you want. You have to make the sacrifice. You have to get your sleep, eat your food, practice, put in the work. You still have to, it's an opportunity.
Yes.
You
Actually, I love that you took it there because I wasn't even thinking of it in that way.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, that would be a great rendition to break it down. It's the gifts that are offered in life are not just tangible things. They're not just a beautiful motorcycle.
They're not a wrench.
Yes.
They're the metal, and you have to cast the wrench.
Yes.
Someone hands you, it's not they're handing you a wrench. It's
No.
like, here's a block of metal. Thank you. I can make a wrench with that, but
Yes.
I have a lot of work to do.
Yes.
I have a lot of learning, a lot of studying. I'm going to cut my fingers a few times. I'm going to put burn holes in my shirt.
Yes.
But if I want it bad enough and I put in the work, I can turn this block of metal, this
Yes.
brick of metal, into a wrench.
So the beauty is the gift of potential. Oh, dude, that goes so full circle for me, I can't even tell you. I literally, just this week, we had some event where people gave us a rock, and we had to write something on a rock, and I was like, all right, so be it, I'll participate. And I was like half paying attention to what they were talking about, and I didn't end up writing something on it. And then somebody, at the end of this whole thing, somebody asked me, like, what'd you write on a rock? And I looked at them and I went, potential. And then I was like, oh, I guess I should write that on the rock. And then I wrote this on the rock, and it is sitting in my car right now.
Ooh.
This is very full circle for me at the moment.
Okay.
The beauty of potential is the gift, dude. Oh, dang, I love that.
I saw these two pictures.
Mhm.
So someone had made a meme with two consecutive pictures, and there was a rock like on this walking path, and it said "flip me over for like the secret to life" or something like that. You know?
Yeah.
And it flips. The next picture is the rock flipped over. It says, "You actually listen to a rock, you dumbass." Like, flip me back over. Sorry, it has nothing to do with what you're saying.
You're good.
but,
You're
yeah,
good.
I think it's funny.
Yeah, that's if nothing else, that uncovering is a gift to me, man. It's that reshapes how I look at things. Like, everything has potential, good and bad potential for sure, and not everything is worth your time. I think that's something that consumes people and they get lost in. It goes back to that concept of balance, right? Like, we want all the things. I want to be perfect at this. I want to be healthy. I want to get sleep. I want to read. I want to work out. I want to do a great job. I want to be a good husband, boyfriend, whatever, parent. You want all the things.
Gay lover.
Yes, on the side. But you can't have all the things. You cannot. But you do have potential for anything that you're aiming at.
Pretty much. I don't fully subscribe to the you can do anything you want in life. I can't become an astrophysicist. I'm not smart enough to be an astrophysicist.
I agree with you.
I could be a really shitty astrophysicist, or I could be their janitor.
Mm-hmm.
But
I agree.
You obviously there's certain rules, there's certain limits, and you have to know them. But within your ability,
Yes.
you can do anything you want. But you have to put in the work.
Yes.
And it's like, yeah, beautiful things are presented to you, gifts. But the gift isn't
It's not a fix-all.
the gift isn't a finished product. It's a raw material.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're willing to just rip that off.
No, I'm gonna keep. No. Oh, I did. Just because you said that.
I know. As soon as I said it, as the pause, there was that quarter-second pause, and in that quarter-second pause, my subconscious was like, that motherfucker's not doing it. He's not doing it, dude.
Oh man, I like pushed and I was like, oh, it's not gonna break off for good.
Yeah,
Face.
I knew it. I knew it too. I knew it as soon as that pause, because I knew. It's so weird. Like we've known each other long enough that I knew, like, as soon as you hear a good idea that you subscribe to, you'd be like, oh yeah, and you'd be right in on it. But that tiny pause, I knew. I was like, this is not happening.
This is a point of irritation. All right,
yeah,
great.
it's like okay, yeah. It's kind of irritating me. So I'm just gonna look straight ahead. But yeah, but it is awesome though. That's the thing, is it's, and we were talking about, because we ran out of beer, so we went to go grab beer. Thank God.
Thank God.
But what were we saying on the way back? Ah, dang it, dude! I just lost it.
Yeah, so I can't help you with that.
We were saying you don't want to blow things out of the water.
Yes.
You don't want to be stupid. You don't want to be naive. You don't want to be childish. You don't want to be, so dumb and overreact to everything that, something doesn't pan out. And you look back and you're like, you feel like an idiot.
You don't want to be Icarus. You're excited that you can fly.
What is Icarus?
Icarus, so the Greek mythology of I'm screwing up names, but Icarus and his father are trapped in a maze with a minotaur, and they need to leave.
Okay.
And they save the...
Well, yeah, you're in a maze with a minotaur. Minotaur.
That sounds like home.
Yeah, get out of that maze.
So what they do is every day there's birds that fly by them, and they start collecting all their feathers. Okay. And the dad was a master craftsman, and he made them a pair of wings. And they both took off flying one day to leave, but the dad said to him, hey, I made these with wax, so do not fly too close to the sun. So when they started leaving, Icarus, the son, was all excited. They're jacked. They're leaving. They're flying over the ocean. They get to see the whole world. But the Icarus is way too excited. And he just wants to see how high can he fly with his new wings. When he gets too close to the sun, the wax melts, and he falls to his death.
I've heard metaphors based around this before.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So, in essence, they're given a gift. They're given potential with the bird wings. And the dad knows what to do with that potential. He knows how to shape it and make it into something valuable.
Ah, good.
Then they take that value, and one of them knows what to do effectively, age and time and wisdom. And then the other one is too excited and flies too close to the sun. Yes.
Naive.
Yes.
Okay. And that's, phenomenal. Phenomenal example. And that's what we were talking about. And it's like, don't want to get it, keep it in perspective.
Yes.
But at the same time, and then you said, but at the same time, it's life and it's what's happening. So don't devalue it.
Correct.
Don't be unappreciative.
Right. Don't hide in the corner when you're presented the gift. Enjoy the gift. Do not squander it.
Yep.
When I think of potential, I literally look at this room that we're in right now. This is the example of taking potential and making it into something beautiful.
I love this room.
I know, and you should. This is your space. This is...
So I rent, and there's 2 garage stalls attached to each other, and they were both dark, no lighting, no shelves, nothing. And I was working on the bike in early spring, and it was very inefficient. All my tools are laying on the ground. I can't see anything. There's just what I estimate to be about 5 years worth of dirt just piled up everywhere.
I would literally more, dude.
Literally dirt about an inch high, in spots.
I think it's 20 years, but
I don't know. It was a long time. So I asked my landlord. Landlord's awesome, and I asked her. I was like, "Hey, can I redo the garage? I'll do the work myself. I'll pay for everything myself, and I won't mess with the structure, so you don't have to worry about liabilities for future tenants." She was like, yes. And now I've turned it into, you can only see one corner of it, but it's painted, it's lit, there's shelves everywhere, there's tons of storage, and that's what we're talking about right now.
Right, and this is a beautiful example of taking potential, a gift of potential. You're looking at your garage, you've been living here for however long, and you finally decided, hey, I just want to do this. and you took that opportunity, you executed against it, and how much do you love it?
And now, I'm so glad you went there, because now I love my apartment. It's a beautiful spot. I've got all the things I love to do are like in that apartment. I can do them, and yet I find myself spending more time out in a garage.
Yeah.
It's a tiny little apartment garage. I spend more time out here on my free time.
Yep.
More time out here than I do in there. And there was a opportunity, a potential.
Yes.
And because I put in enough work, which I did, I probably have 80 to 120 hours into this thing.
Yeah.
I would
Likely.
think, or at least there's 120 man hours, because you guys would sometimes, Gary would sometimes come over, help me do stuff. So by putting in, that's a lot of work for something I get I get return on right now.
Yeah.
But it's not like a
long-term investment.
It's not a financial investment.
Yep.
I get no return on it. I move out of here when I buy a house, and it's the next tenants. I get nothing. I can't bring this with me.
Correct.
However, by putting in the work, putting in the time, it is now my favorite place to be in my abode. And so, you're handed this opportunity, and all it is an opportunity. That's all it is.
Yep.
But if you do it right, I painted it white for light reflection instead of black.
Yes.
I put in shelves that are level so my things won't fall down and break.
Yep.
You do the things right.
Yep.
You put in the work, you do the right things, and it now becomes your favorite thing that you have in that genre of life. And you take something large. You take like a job, a relationship with a family member, a romantic relationship. If you put in the hours and you do it right, it becomes your favorite thing in life.
Yes.
It's
beautifully executed potential. And that goes to the whole not squandering it either. Like, you could have not talked to your landlord. You could have done a bunch of things that were like just totally what you wanted them to be, but not appropriate for everything, and then just ruin a relationship with your landlord, screw things up, have to take it down anyways, and then you don't have the potential to do that anymore.
You could have either not said anything.
Correct.
So the opportunity never comes to fruition, or even never takes the path of trying to go to fruition. It just stays the opportunity. It stays in its original form.
Right, as it always is.
Yes, because you have to. So you could not ask the landlord. And then you could not do it right. And in both those scenarios, you don't get the best outcome.
Correct.
So you have to, there's a saying that I like, that follow your dreams, but take your brain with you.
Yes.
And then you really have to, it's like, what do you want? You have to go after it. But also you have to do it right. You have to bring intelligence in with it.
100%.
Maturity.
100%.
Wisdom.
And that's a beautiful takeaway, man. It's a good framework of just looking at all the potential around you. Because, like, if you just stop and assess what potential you have, I'm sure you'll be shocked by all of it.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee I've never sat down and just gone, what potential things do I have in front of me?
Yeah. Especially in the 21st century with technology.
Oh, gosh, we're just consumed by things. This goes to a thought that I've been thinking for quite some time. Probably since, like, the last time we were doing regular videos. One thing that I realize that we do not do often is define what success looks like. We don't take the time to actually understand, if I pursue this, what does a successful version of this look like? We often just get a broad picture in our mind, and then we kind of move at that broad picture.
So something I did probably 3-4 years ago, and I was just talking with a buddy who's 3 years younger than me, and he's in that phase that I was about 3-4 years ago. And this is something I actually did. I took probably an hour or two, turned off everything. Distractions, technology. And I literally sat down and meditated on what I thought the perfect, the ideal, like 52 to 56-year-old man was. How did he walk? How did he speak? What elements of his character were refined? Down to how he dressed. How he did his hair. Like, I created in my mind the perfect 52 to 56-year-old man within reason.
Yep.
And then I said, if I want to be him in 24 years, what do I need to do now? And that's why when I started dressing up a lot,
yes,
I was practicing to figure out how to dress, because this guy wore a suit and he wore it beautifully and it looked sharp. His hair was, and so kind of getting back to your point, actually taking that time to actually think about like, what's the end result? Or like, what is success? Thinking about that, creating that, and then mapping out what you need to do 20, 30 years in advance, and then start moving in that direction.
Yes. Like I started doing this at work maybe 4 or 5 months ago, and it like just shocks people and they don't want to participate with it. And it really blows my mind that I'm like, okay, I know where we're going, but can we sit down for 5 minutes and just define what does successful look like when we go this direction? They're like, it's like I get pushback or like hesitation, and it really shocks me. It does and it doesn't. It does in the sense that, like, when you know that, it just makes sense. Why would you not try to define what you're actually aiming at? But then it's not our inherent nature to do it. We'd rather just keep moving. We'd rather just keep going, just do the thing, just do the thing.
You're setting the blueprint for failure.
Yeah.
And
you
also
might stumble into success.
And also trying. Well, so the downside of, I guess when I'm looking at it, the downside of viewing like what success is and why someone would be apprehensive, it's like, that means I need to do more work.
Yes.
It means I actually need to think about it and I actually need to try. And then there's also the factor of failure.
Yes.
And it's like, it's really like not willing to grow, not willing to do the work.
Yeah, I think that's completely accurate. I think they just tend towards moving in the right-ish direction, and most goals are relatively broad and you can achieve them successfully, so they live in that success level.
Yeah, I want more money.
Right.
But it's like you tell someone, I want more money, they hand you $1. It's like, there, you have more money. Is your dream complete? No. Well, it's like, well, you didn't define how much is more money, because you do have more money now.
Right. And to me, what that is like, you hit the target in general. Like, you hit the target. But do you want to hit the bullseye?
Yeah.
You gotta practice. You gotta know what you're doing.
You gotta know where the bullseye is.
Yes. You can't. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
You're just like, target's over there. I hit it. We're good.
Yeah.
That's not good enough.
It's like, well, did you hit the left side of the target or the right side? Well, I don't know. Well, the reason you don't know is because you don't know if the target is on the left side or the right side. If you knew where the target was, or the bullseye, you would know where on the target you hit. Right. And how far away from that bullseye you are.
Right. And we only have 2 minutes here, but not to go in too deep, but it's either to not aim appropriately or to miss your target is to sin in Greek, right?
Yes, you've talked about this.
Yes.
Yeah.
So actively, not like, sin, like whatever, I don't care. But to sin just means missing your target.
Yeah, and we've said this on
Yes, we have.
Sin in Spanish is without.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like without aim, because it was an archery term.
Yes,
right?
yes.
So it's like without aim. So it's without aim on your target.
Exactly. Yeah. So essentially, aim at the potential appropriately. Understand what you're aiming at when you have that potential, and move towards it. Don't be afraid of it. Don't hide away from it. Aim at the potential that you actually can achieve.
Yeah. First, be open to receiving potential. Be open to potential.
Yes.
And then, you have to know yourself. You have to know what you want.
Yes.
So luck. My favorite definition of luck is the intersection of opportunity and preparedness. Meaning chance is zero factor.
Yes.
So it's like, you know what you want. There's preparedness.
Mm-hmm.
And then opportunity presents itself and it's like, this aligns. So knowing what you want, being open to opportunity, viewing it, but then taking that opportunity, but then doing it right.
Yep.
And then just little side factors is absolutely, you always talk about this, just appreciation.
Yeah.
Just don't.
Actual gratitude for what you have.
Don't get so like burnt in on like what you want, because it's pretty much never going to be exactly what you want. No. So just accept that and appreciate it.
100%.
I don't really want to go another half hour.
No, me either.
It's good. Okay. All right. Thanks, Dean.
Yep.